Hey there, how's it going? I'm Migs with Elite4, and with me today is DreamStereo. Guys, why don't you say hi?
Yo, what's up? What's going on?
You may know DreamStereo from playing around in our local area. They're a local, we say new wave band, little indie vibes, little rock vibes. If you haven't checked them out, you know where have you been? I don't know, but they play all over here. So guys, how are y'all doing today?
Wonderful.
I'm good.
We're doing great. Happy to be here. Just happy to be here.
Why'd you say it like that? Good. Good. All right.
Didn't know how I felt.
Right on. So y'all been real busy playing around this area. Also other areas too. We were talking about how y'all play in places like Corpus, San Antonio, this area, Buddha. Y'all mentioned Buddha as well. And y'all have some festivals coming up in Dallas. Can we talk about what venues do y'all enjoy playing at here around Victoria? Like, which ones would you say so far have been your favorite? Or if it's not in Victoria.
Moonshine
all the way. Moonshine all the way.
Yeah.
Moonshine's so fun, dude. I
It's
love going
always
to
great.
Moonshine.
I feel like
Shout out, Bo.
the vibe is just right. It's just such a cool, laid-back bar already.
Mm-hmm.
And they already have some great music selection. So they allow a lot of the alternative indie type of stuff.
Yeah.
So the people that are just happen to be there, they still enjoy the show anyways. So
And they're
it's
all really
always a
nice to
great
us back
turnout.
there. All
Yeah.
the staff.
They have a great staff.
Yeah, they have a wonderful staff.
And they've been having a great staff. Like, you know, as a bartender, I always look at other people's staff. Because normally with staff, like, we like to say you have your golden eras. And then, like, people will start leaving and stuff, and then you go through, like, a rebuilding phase. Kind of like football teams or sports teams, like, you know. But bar staffs do the same thing, as for also restaurants, too. But I feel like Moonshine staff has just been good for so long. And I'm like, dude, these guys, their staff is great. And I think 205 is another one that's the same way. Their staff has been solid forever. But not a lot of bars can say that. I think those two bars are truly blessed having such a solid staff all the time. Like, I don't even know if they realize it, but they are really blessed. But yeah, Moonshine has like a real cool vibe to it. I feel like it's like a speakeasy kind of vibe, like a very Americana speakeasy-ish kind of like vibe. I don't know if that's what they were going for originally, but that's what it is. But yeah, I can see how like y'all's vibe works there. Like we last Saturday I was at Moonshine and y'all were playing, and the crowd fucking loved y'all. I loved it. I was like, man, these guys are really good. And that's another thing that's hard to find in Victoria nowadays is like really good, just clean local bands, right? Like there's a lot of metal bands here. They do some crazy stuff, and it's cool to see them. But we also just have like the country bands, right? But you don't see a lot of indie and new wave stuff anymore. Like it's I don't know if it's just hard to pull off. But why do y'all think that is?
I think it's just different. It's a movement that is barely making a comeback again. That 80s post-punk new wave style. It's the indie's always been around, but I think the specific new wave movement started. Man, it picked up traction maybe 2-3 years ago is when it really started. There's a lot of bands that are coming out, and we just happen to be one of those bands. We write our own stuff, and just the main thing is just really be a fan of the art you create first, and then everything else will follow. You have to like what you play.
Yeah.
And it's just natural for us. We don't even bother trying playing metal or anything like that because it's just not who we are.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of your song selections, right? You have your original stuff, right, that y'all write yourselves. Who's actually the writers for the music, for the songs?
So for the most part, the whole going back, this band started. I have a studio at home, and I'm always writing stuff, and I probably can say that 30-40% of the material that you hear on DreamStereo was written before I even got the guys on board. I just did it at home and never got anywhere. It was just me, just writing for fun. And then these guys came along, known them for years, invited them into the project. And then we turned into a band, and with their input, that's when we really
Developed a sound.
Yeah, developed a unique sound that makes up DreamStereo. But the main writers would probably be myself and Max. He likes to get really involved with the guitar parts and stuff like that. And then the other two guys is just more kind of like, okay, let's hear back what you got, and then maybe we can take the song I don't know, after this chorus, maybe we can do a bridge, or like more on the production type thing. But it just kind of always we build off of something we write.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. So Max you're the lead guitarist, right?
Yes, I am.
So you help out with writing. Who are the other two guys?
Danny and Saxon.
Danny and Saxon. So what does Danny
so
do?
robotic.
Daniel's the drummer.
Yeah, Danny's the drummer.
Yeah.
Saxon's the bass player.
the bass player,
Okay.
and he recently started doing backup vocals as well.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. Right on. So it's just a 4-piece, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I like it. That's awesome. So on your song selections, as far as what you choose to cover, like what kind of songs can people expect to hear when they see DreamStereo?
We'd like to be open-minded, but still have a strategy. We know this. We know the sound that we go for. We know what we sound like, so we try to stick with that. So, Joy Division, the
Cure.
Killers, the Cure,
Smith.
the Smiths, stuff like that, because it kind of fits the vibe that we already have going.
Yeah.
We take requests, and if we know it, we'll play it. I know people
Like
always.
La Bamba.
Yeah.
La Bamba?
Yeah, people love
Twist and
we
shout.
played it. Yeah, we played it once because somebody requested it, and now it's become like part of the set list. Because now it's like, oh, these guys know La Bamba. So it's just a fun 2-minute song to do, so we don't mind doing
I guess
it.
it's a short song, right?
Yeah,
Just bang it out
we'll-
real quick.
we'll do it.
Get people going, like, you know.
And like I said,
that's so
we
funny.
each know certain songs that he might not. He might know something on guitar that I don't know how to play, but if I know the words to it, we'll try it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just we don't take ourselves too serious, especially with the covers, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just to please the crowd. We didn't write it, so
We just get big pools of songs, and then we just
yeah,
kind of just trim it out and be like, okay, can we all play this?
Yeah.
Yes, keep it. No, get it out.
There's been
And
a
then
lot of
just
Creedence.
slowly.
You know, have you ever seen The Rain? There's been a lot of Pearl Jam that people want to hear. Just stuff like that. And if we know it, we'll play it for you. I mean, at the end of the day, you came out to support us. We'll try to give back as much as we can.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you mentioned some bands about, like, you know, the kind of energy you have on stage. Are those also the same bands that inspired y'all to be musicians, or y'all have other bands or different genres that y'all listen to personally?
Oh, I step out of our genre.
I was gonna say me
pretty-
too. We
I
like
think
Drake.
We stay out pretty regularly.
Yeah, I think I'm actually the one that's I'm at fault when it comes down to the new wave. I started pushing that because that is my personal preference.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like my project at first before we decided to turn it into a band. So the guys just kind of followed, but like Max really likes John Mayer. He likes rap. He likes stuff like that. And I'm cool with stuff like that. I'll listen to it. I'll vibe to it. But if you're asking me on my way to work or when I'm wearing headphones, I'm always listening to new wave, whether it's in English or in Spanish. Because I was actually raised in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
So, like, there's a lot of good bands like Soda Stereo, and there's so many I could name. That I just grew up with that. So it's just been instilled in me. So then Max at first, it was kind of like hard because I'm like, bro, to be able to get those sounds, you need to have your pedals on. You need reverb. You need stuff. And he's like, I go straight into the amp and I just play clean. And I'm like, bro, you're the lead guitar player. You need some effects on your stuff.
He's like, let me show you how John Mayer does it.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. But finally, I think as of right now, as of today, we're at the point where our sound, it only gets better, but it's already very established. It's very solid. He knows what he likes. He knows what pedals to use. He knows how to play his guitar in a specific way. And me being rhythm, I just try to be the foundation for him to build off of.
Okay.
Stuff like that. We just kind of read each other as we play. That just happens to bands. Once you play together long enough, you can just kind of, I can look at him.
Yeah,
and
you
I
just
know
get comfortable enough with each other.
I know when he's going to solo just by looking at him. So then I know what to do. You know, it's just kind of.
You ever think about throwing him a curveball? Like, you know what? Today, I'm going to throw Alexx for a loop.
I feel like he does that. I feel like Alex does that to you though.
Whoa.
A lot.
I don't know if
He'll just
he-
be like,
if-
"Do you know that song? No. Okay, let's play it."
Let's play. You're like,
Like,
wait,
okay,
what?
we'll figure it out.
Just
We'll
follow.
yeah. There's been a couple times where we replayed shows like that, and we'll like have one or two songs left, and he'll whip something out, and I'm like, what? the fuck do I do?
You can see it on your face though. You're like,
I'm a terrible liar.
The little
Can't hide it.
the panic creeping in. He's like,
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Saxon's
But
done
you
it to where he
gotta-
didn't even play. He was pretending to play.
Yeah,
He
you
would've-
turn the
it was at a
volume
carnival.
off on the
Oh,
guitar.
yeah, that's, yeah.
At the
I've done
carnival,
that.
he wasn't even playing.
he was just guitar it, just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, the sound is just only 50%. The look is the other. So if you look like you know what you're doing up there, you're already
I
halfway
guess
there.
no one's
Yeah.
making, no one's trying to like hear out what the bassist is doing or something, or
Yeah.
so. I'm sure some of them are out there, like
Yeah.
But it's just like if you do it for a song, I'm sure it'll
be
go.
alright.
That's what I used to do whenever we first started playing. I'd get so nervous, like at some parts of the song, I'd just roll my volume back just really low and just act like I'm playing because I was like, I don't remember how the song goes. Now I don't do that anymore as much, but
as much.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Been
think it's
there.
real difficult to memorize all those songs. I don't know how you do it. Like I think with the songs, especially like new wave stuff, being I feel like they're a little bit progressive, like as far as melodic kind of goes with it. Like
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not a
yeah.
lot of like repeating stuff. Like sometimes those melodies kind of trail off, and you got to memorize how that goes.
Yeah.
I know I couldn't do it. I tried playing guitar, couldn't do it. My hands were too fucking fat. And then I tried playing drums, and then I was just too fat for that. So that didn't work out. I also had no rhythm either. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be a listener, and I'm okay with that. So yeah. I also love a lot of new wave stuff. The Cure you mentioned and stuff. I actually like a lot of the newer stuff, the new progressive stuff.
Nice.
Coheed and Cambria. Circus Survive is one of the
Yeah.
bands I love a lot. Even like some bands like Turnover, how like they have a lot of like new wave like influence on them. Like you can hear it in their chords and the way they sing, but you kind of got what you were talking about earlier, how like new wave is making this like resurgence like from the 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it more and more, and I really like it. I like that it's coming back. I mean, I'm also an emo kid too, so I do like my early 2000s emo music. But it's like
That's
I feel like we
okay.
live next door. New wave and emo, it's right there. It's like we sing about the same stuff, but like it sounds a little bit different. The energy's a little different. But I like it.
That's a Limp Bizkit right there.
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
Number one Limp Bizkit fan right here. I turn into Fred Durst at practice.
Oh man.
We don't take it on stage.
Yeah,
though.
like this red hat and everything. You're like, let's go, guys.
Get my snapback to the side. Wear my pants really low. Exactly.
That's awesome. So, speaking of other bands, what bands do y'all like going to go see live? Like, either local bands or the bigger ones, the ones that go on the big tours.
I don't go to a whole lot of concerts.
Really?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I do.
Yeah, Alex makes me go to a lot of concerts.
It's just man. It's
What do you mean?
part-
But he wants to go there so. My thing
It's
is,
part
he
of
wants to
me.
go there so
I
early, like
can't.
even earlier than
Well,
the first
yeah,
act.
it's-
So we're there for about 9 hours. So by the time the main act gets on, Red Hot Chili Pepper, I was tired. I was like,
Yeah, no, she made us leave early.
Oh no!
we were
It's
there
like-
for like 8 hours, and it's a 2-hour
they
drive.
They finish the set, but then they always come back with the encore.
Encore, yeah.
And she was
like
like,
midnight
no,
already.
let's go. I'm like, oh god, okay, whatever. So we missed like Scar Tissue and like California
no.
and
No.
stuff like that.
Alex like crying his way out.
He did. He was really
You
upset.
could just hear it
He was
playing.
slowly walking backwards as he was watching. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been waiting my whole life for this, and you took it away from me.
For real.
Kings of Leon was really good. We went to
Yeah,
see
we
Kings
went
of
to see
Leon.
Kings of Leon.
We stayed
Oh,
the
that's
whole
pretty
time.
cool.
You know, I have to say they're not my personal favorite to listen to on a daily basis, but showmanship,
Yeah.
I have to say, is the greatest band I've seen so far, and I've seen a lot. Coldplay. Oh,
Oh,
my
that
god,
was a
dude.
great show.
Their concerts are an experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, they're amazing. The way that people engage with them. They make you wear these wristbands that light up in different
Oh,
colors.
that's pretty cool.
So,
So
you
it's
just
different
see
songs.
a
Yep.
sea of like, it's just a sea of people, and it's amazing. It's just flashing lights and the smoke, and then they got this blow up balls that they throw into the crowd. They're huge, and you just kick them up and stuff. It's just amazing. I don't even know half of their songs, but it was just really cool to see.
Alex's wristband didn't work.
Yeah.
He was the only one not lighting up.
Yeah.
like, what the
what are
hell?
the odds? Yeah. Mine didn't work, so that's a curse.
I would have gone back. I'd be like, yo, mine's faulty. I need a new one.
Now you know what I did? I probably shouldn't say this, but I kept it. You were supposed to turn it back in.
You were supposed to turn it back in?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people kept it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Well, you were
fine.
supposed to for the next go around.
What are they gonna do?
I
Wash
was like,
them?
mine
Yeah.
didn't even work.
I
At
think they
least
make tons of money.
keep
I
it
think
for a
they'll be
souvenir.
okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Like, you know, what do those wristbands cost?
they
them?
can
Like,
afford another
exactly,
one.
right?
They'll
Like,
be
what'd you
alright.
pay for those tickets versus what those little wristbands cost? I'm sure it was a small
Yeah.
expense.
But yeah, no, I usually like general admission, and I like to get there. If the concert starts at 8, I like to be there at 5 because I'm gonna be up front and I'm gonna wait because at
We
the
do.
end of the night it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. GA is the only tickets I buy. I try to avoid like the seating stuff, like, you know, any shows that have seatings. Luckily, we live in Texas,
Yeah.
and we have a few different, you know, cities that, you know, if a tour comes through, you know, there's normally an Austin show, a Houston show, sometimes
Yeah,
even
yeah.
a Dallas show. So I
Yeah.
can like kind of pick what venue I want to go to depending on how far I want to drive. But it's funny how you mentioned showmanship as far as being on stage. It's one thing that a lot of bands, especially like new bands, like, you know, like y'all only being about a year old,
Yeah.
it's something that they kind of struggle with, right? Because, you know, they don't know exactly what to do, or, you know,
You're
they
so
just,
nervous on
you're kind of
stage.
nervous on stage, and like, you know, like, it's kind of like, you know, I guess as a bartender, I can kind of relate just being behind the bar. Like, behind the bar is my stage. But, like, you know, I feel like we just kind of flip a switch, like, you know, because I know some
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
anxious bartenders how if they're not working, they're like, you know, I can't be in front of people. But as soon as they walk in the bar and they get behind the bar and they start making drinks, they're people, you know, people, like, you know, they're like, oh, yeah, let's go, you know, have a good time. So, like, how is y'all showmanship? Like, or what are things that, like, y'all think about on stage and how to try to, like, you know, up y'all's performance?
I think
Well-
about not fucking up the songs. Start.
Oh, you're at that level. You're like, oh, as long as I play good.
Always at that level.
I think it needs to get to a point where the song is just a part of you.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to think about how to play it, it just pours out. Then once you're at that point, then you can really enjoy your presence on stage. Because not until you get to that point are you worried about how this chord, do I go here? What are the lyrics? What are this? What are that? Especially when you just write a song and you want to play it for the first time, that's going to happen. I don't
Yeah.
care how many times you practice it. Once you actually go on stage and play for people, it's going to be like, oh shit, this is
Yeah,
new.
yeah,
This is new.
for sure, right? Stage fright is a real thing, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Talking in front of people, like, you know, public speaking, I always struggle with that. Even though, you know, we podcast and, you know, this is different being on camera versus actually seeing people's faces, like, looking at you in real time. You're like, ugh, like, you know, like, you get that stage fright, kind of freeze up a little bit. But, yeah, I can only imagine trying to do that on stage and trying to remember all your chords and stuff. I would definitely be turning down my volume down too. Like, you know, like, oh, guys.
Okay, Max.
But Max, you just gotta do what he says. Just
Yeah.
don't think about it. You know, just like,
Exactly.
you know, just, you know, you get you in your
Oh,
own
yeah.
head.
Nah, they're getting to the point.
Yeah.
I got a little
Oh,
bit of
yeah.
experience on them. I've been on several different bands.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, hey guys, no rush. You know, I know this is new to y'all, but man, I mean, we're at a point where we're all pretty much equal. It used to be me trying to direct and kind of tell them like, hey, it's alright, do this, or trying to show them. But there's things that I'm like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. Like, holy shit, like they stepped up. They are all very comfortable with the music that we write and with their own instruments. So now I can say that I feel very, very confident that, you know, we got a couple festivals lined up. There's something to worry about.
Yeah.
I feel like we're a band. This isn't my band anymore. I feel like we're a band, and it couldn't get better than that. That's always been the goal. Just 4 guys that make up a sound, so we can really rely on each other.
Yeah.
And just really looking forward to new things, man. It's a new year, and we got some really exciting things coming up.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all got, man. Especially if y'all play so much around here. With other bands, do y'all ever like check out other bands, local bands, and like maybe like learn lessons from those guys? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I would think, me being a bartender, I like going to other bars and checking out other bartenders on how they do things.
Yeah,
And then
for sure.
sometimes I'll learn something, or I'll see something like oh, I don't like that. I need to make sure I don't do that behind the bar. Like, what are some cool things that y'all learned from other bands that y'all have integrated in DreamStereo?
The Stout Brothers, their sound is amazing. Their sound engineer, the way they set up their stuff. I mean, y'all sounded great on that show. So
When
with
we
them,
play with them, they got top of the line stuff.
Yeah.
So we automatically sound 10 times better because we're dialed in so properly that it sounds so cool.
Yeah,
But-
the whole sound engineering, that's real hard to do. Like, you need a guy specifically for that. I want to say at the Moonshine show, I saw you
Yeah, we
with
do
the
it ourselves.
interface tablet,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I see you like, tweaking it a little bit and
yeah,
throwing
and
your
usually he
tablet
hands
down.
it to me, and he's like, "Here you go," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh no."
Well, at that point, everything is already
Yeah.
preset. It's just
Yeah.
like
Just
if Max
turning
is
in
gonna
every-
solo and
yeah.
he's not loud enough, then turn him up,
Yeah.
like basic stuff. But I've taken my time with also audio engineering as well, because like the music for DreamStereo that you hear on Spotify and stuff, everything is done in my room. And we save a lot of money that way because
Yeah.
man, studios are expensive.
Be nice to
They're-
go to a
they're
studio,
worth
but it's a
it
lot
and
more
it's cool.
efficient. Yeah.
It's really cool, and it's you don't have to worry about making the band sound good because somebody else will do that, and you just gotta pay. But do we really got the money to pay every single time we want a song out? Because we're also trying to be very productive. So it's kind of like, man, I'm just gonna learn it and just do it myself.
Yeah, luckily there's things like YouTube and stuff that help you out with
Yeah.
like stuff like even for E4, like here, like all this stuff we learned off of YouTube. Like none of us had any kind of like video background or audio engineering background. I have a friend that works in San Antonio at the Aztec Theater. He's a sound engineer over there. He's the one that helped me out with a lot of stuff. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably be like light years behind still as far as like trying to figure out like what the difference between like XLR cables, like, I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know what to do about all this stuff. There's so much technical stuff, and then even if one thing is wrong, it makes your audio sound awful, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I give you props for being your own sound guy, man, because I see a lot of bands how they have to hire a third party
It's a
sound
lot of
guy.
money.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see that they get paid out, they're $100-$200 a night just for controlling the sound, and you're like, man, these guys know what they're doing. They have the easy gig, and they get a nice little cut. But yeah, I always appreciate when the bands do their own sound and they can, because who knows y'all sound better than y'all do, right? Like,
Yeah,
like how you
exactly.
want to
Yep.
sound, and when it's in your hands, you have complete control. But you just have to have that knowledge, and that's cool that y'all actually put the work into, understanding that level of, performing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So also while y'all perform, we talked about earlier about, y'all like to take shots sometimes, Y'all ever get to a point to where y'all get too many shots?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah, probably a drummer.
Sorry, Daniel.
Do you ever
Shout
just
out
like
to
look,
you, bro.
you ever just look back at Daniel, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm drunk. I'm
He's
wasted.
too drunk.
Well, yeah, that actually happens a lot.
It happens on the podcast a lot too. Like, between Aubrey and Dylan, because like normally we take at least 2 or 3 shots before the podcast, just because they're getting hyped up and whatever. Right, it's the end of the day, and we worked all day, and we're just like, let's get some shots. We have some beers, and then at our 30-minute break, we do more shots. So the second half of the podcast is just a shit show.
Yeah.
Like, it's like just trying to reel these people in, trying to talk about a subject. You're like, yeah. And then, normally I'll bring up one thing and then it just spirals out of control. And I'm just sitting here like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, just like, I can only imagine, taking shots and performing on stage. I'm sure it helps out with like stage fright a little bit. Like, it might
It just
calm the
makes
nerves a
you-
little
yeah,
bit.
Yeah.
It
You know?
makes you loosen up a little bit. I mean, and it happens to everybody. It happened to me too, not just Daniel. But when we played New Year's,
New Year's Eve. We all took
we
shots
didn't
out
have.
of the
We
trunk.
just drank straight out the bottle, and I think I drank probably like what's equivalent to 5 shots.
Oh, no.
I just
He threw
I
back
just
that
chugged
fucking
that.
bottle.
And I was
Oh
like,
my
man, that
God.
felt great. But then 30 minutes, it didn't feel so good. I started spinning.
You're like, oh.
I was like,
Saxon
oh,
was over
shit.
there fighting for his life, trying not to throw up on
Then
stage.
yeah,
No
Saxon,
way,
our
dude.
bassist, he took a shot. It didn't sit well. I think he didn't eat anything or something. So
That'll do it, dude.
halfway into the set, he's like trying to puke but trying to hold it back, and I'm like, oh my god. But luckily, we had a sound man that was there, and we sounded great. It was a great show. There was a lot of people there, and we just kind of played it off. But to the listener, and it sounds great, and it looks great. There was a lot of lights and everything. Good show. But to us on stage, looking at each other, we're dying.
Y'all are freaking out.
That's
You're
what
like,
the
"Oh my
people
God."
don't know.
Or San Antonio when Daniel almost had a heat stroke out on the Riverwalk.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a throwback.
That's a retro one. Yeah, he was out in the
It
sun.
was only on him.
It was only on him.
But the stage was the sun was only hitting
Yeah,
him.
it was on the
Well,
Riverwalk.
yeah, it was on
Yeah,
the Riverwalk.
Okay.
You know the
Up above.
Riverwalk, there's those islands
Yeah.
in the center. Well, we set up there.
Okay.
And it was at that specific time
It's
of
like
the
5
day
o'clock.
where the drummer's in the back and the building is giving me shadow and the other two guys, but the sun's still hitting Daniel right in the face. So he was just hoping that it would go down, but it didn't get
song.
dark until we finished.
That's the day the sun stopped. Just
Yeah,
in the
every
fucking-
song
so
we
the whole
finished.
time he was playing, it was just
so
glare right on him.
We'd finish and he'd be like all red and just sweaty. He's like, guys, wait a second.
In between songs, I'm over there just turning around like, God damn it, just pull through it. You know, like,
Y'all
I'm like,
have-
man, I'm kind of cool over here.
Y'all all having a good time, and he's just like getting sunburned back there. Like
he was the
"That's
only one that was
move."
sweaty. So
Yeah.
Oh my God,
that should tell you
dude.
something.
That was funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, that was a throwback.
That was probably like the third show. We
That
got
was
really
it.
lucky on
More
that.
than that, wasn't it?
We've only
No.
been around a year, but man, we've played a lot.
Yeah?
which has helped us.
This is our
you know,
first
get
weekend
better
off
and
this
stuff.
year.
Yeah.
I say that like it's been so
Really?
long
The
this
last
year,
few
but
months. Yeah.
Yeah, we had
nice.
a gig every week, every weekend last month, and this month was weird because we didn't have a gig. I was like, man,
Yeah, we're trying
I
to
feel like
break
we're supposed to
away
do
from-
something, and I was kind of confused because
Well, no, because in 2 weeks we have it like back to
Yeah.
back to back.
We're trying to do to where like we want to start target not playing once a week is cool, but we want to target an area. For this year we want to start doing that. We like a mini tour. So like we'll go to I don't know Tennessee and we
Okay.
book a show.
Colorado.
But then if we can stay there a week or maybe at least 4 to 5 days and play 2 to 3 shows and then we come back and then we can go to Colorado and do the same thing. Play at least 2 to 3 shows at different places. So we want to start doing that, like self-funded little tours, because we can't really afford like a 2-month tour all over. We're not
Yeah.
at that point yet, but we can start networking slowly but surely.
Yeah, do y'all have like full-time jobs outside the band, or is the band y'all's full-time? Like, where do y'all get the time to do that? Like,
Well-
We're in that great area right now where we want to transition to
yeah,
making it full
okay,
time.
all right.
I'm very busy between work and school.
Sorry.
I work at the Healthplex.
Yeah,
Shout out to the
so you
Healthplex,
do
shout out to the
school,
gym.
work, and band,
Yeah,
and y'all
fit it
play
all.
almost every weekend.
Future architect right there.
Jesus, dude.
It's just a lot of organizing. the
Einstein
time, being
during the day and
efficient.
John Mayer at night.
Guess so. That's what you would call it.
I mean, that sounds good to me, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. So I only podcast maybe like once every 2 weeks, like here. If I'm not doing this, I'm doing other shows,
Cool.
But even then, like, it's so hard. I have a full-time job, and then sometimes Dodge would be my second job, and then E4 is my third job. And I'm like the same way. Like, eventually I will love to do E4 more, like full-time-ish. But right now, unlike y'all, I don't get paid to do this. This is all just like free time stuff.
No, we don't
that-
get paid that much. Oh, I don't get paid at all. So it's fine.
You're like, I'm just there for a good time,
It pays for my gas.
do
when
all
we
the
go out
work.
of town. That's
Yeah,
it. As long as I
man,
can pay for
dude.
my gas,
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. I don't care about the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, I guess it's a labor of love, right? Like you're doing
Oh,
what
yeah.
you love.
It's
so
like anything, man. You're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
gonna profit right away.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta.
You spend a lot of
with
money.
music. You gotta establish a fan base first. You gotta be profitable. I mean, we're networking, we're grinding. We're not at that point yet, but we'd like to get there. So that's what the goal for this year is, finding that transition to be able to play a lot and make enough to continue to play a lot.
yeah,
So we don't have, because hotels, stuff like all that, it's expensive. Everything adds up. So
yeah. I see what you're saying. I bet that's a difficult thing to do because you don't want to play in the same area just over and over and over.
Yeah, because then you
right?
start. People are like, "Oh, well, I'll catch you next show. I'll
Yeah.
catch you next
Yeah,
show,"
you
and then you
turn
start
to that
listening.
band.
You turn
Yeah.
that band, like I'll hate to say it, but it's like the Scott Taylor love. Like a few years ago, like that guy was playing every week at Moonshine, and after after a few months, it wasn't special no more. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Exactly.
all like, we
Exactly.
see him every week, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
Take some of the glimmer away from y'all's performance.
yeah.
But I think
And when we're not playing, we're actually recording. We're always...
Dude, yeah, so y'all
I have all the equipment.
constantly at work.
And we're always making new stuff.
All right, guys. Well, it is time for us to take our first break.
Awesome.
We'll be right back with some more E4 podcasts.
See ya.
This episode is sponsored by Del Papa, an Anheuser-Busch distributor here in Victoria, Texas. They distribute things like Bud Light, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, even things like Twisted Tea. Dylan, what do you have?
I have Monster. Unleash the Beast.
Oh, that must be Monster's new seltzer. Wow.
Yummy. It's very tasty.
What about you, Obs?
I'm drinking a Tampico Hard Punch Fiesta of flavor. This is the island flavor. It's very tropical. It's got a lot of pineapple in it. But it's delicious, and it would go very well with another alcohol, even though this has 8% in it already. So try it by itself first, and then maybe add it to a drink. Like this one.
Oh, fuck.
Nice. Hell yeah. She added to vodka and water.
Honestly, it's pretty good. It's
Real
actually
good.
really good. I was like, it's actually really good, and they have other flavors. Check it out.
And call me Ronald McDonald because I'm getting Mick twisted.
And Nina's an idiot.
Oh yeah, Nina's not drinking. Editor, just have a Michelob Ultra just go in her mouth.
Yeah, shove it in her mouth.
So thank you, Del Papa, for sponsoring the E4 podcast.
Yes.
Cheers to you, Del Papa.
Cheers to Del Papa.
Hell
Cheers
yeah,
to Del
cheers
Papa.
to it, Del
There you
Papa.
go. Cheers.
Cheers. Now,
Cheers. Thank you, Del Papa.
back to the podcast. And we're back with the podcast. We're here with DreamStereo.
Stereo.
So on the break, we're kind of talking about
Pokemon?
and just nerding out.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if y'all know, but we're nerds too, because we have these little Pokemon pillows and stuff. And Max, you were saying that you like to play some Pokemon Go every once in a
Pokemon,
while.
yeah, I go absolutely crazy on Pokemon Go. I bought the Pokeball Go Plus, the little ball.
Oh, yeah.
So you could auto catch it.
Auto
And it
catch.
can,
You don't even have to have your phone out.
yeah, you could just auto catch it.
You're just like walking around downtown, just like scooping Pokemon up.
I had a route downtown.
Damn.
I started at the gazebo and I'd pretty much just go all over the place until I got
Okay,
bored.
so I also play Pokemon Go, but I've taken a 2-month break from it, and I also do have a route downtown, and I have a jailbroken.
Shit, y'all gotta fucking fight it out.
one. Yeah,
Cheater.
dude, Max, you have no idea how big of a cheater I actually am with Pokemon Go. Like, I used to be able to spoof a lot too, so I was a spoofer.
You're the
but
problem.
I was the problem, not anymore. Unfortunately, Android fixed that for us.
Yeah.
So we can't spoof our location anymore. So, but yeah, I just have like tons of Pokemon from like Taiwan and Japan and all this. I was just spoofing all over the world.
Yeah.
And,
I'm pulling up my Pokemon.
Dude, yeah, dude. If you want some Pokemon, dude, let me know.
Dude, yeah,
I'll
dude.
trade you, dude. Like, I even have like unknowns.
No, you're gonna see this and be like, wow, that's pretty baller.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, I had a route downtown too. I would start at the gazebo and I would kind of go down and I would loop around at 205 and I would just go down Main Street with my little fucking jailbroken thing and spin all the Pokestops and catch all the Pokemon. And I would level up real quick when I actually did play, but I haven't played in a bit. I've been
Yeah.
working on
You
it.
have this duck.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude.
And
I
then
don't know
this is all my
nothing about
legendaries.
Pokemon.
Let's look at
Dude, I've gone absolutely
I am
nuts.
not
Rayquaza.
a
You
gamer.
got a shiny Rayquaza.
I've never
I
played
got everything.
Pokemon Go.
Shiny Latios. Oh, dude, look at that, dude. You got all these.
Yeah.
This is some fire right here.
Yeah,
dude.
dude, every Wednesday, 6 to 7, it's raid hour.
but what
and
about-
all the gyms are
Jesus.
having 5star raids? So
He said, I
next time you go
skipped
out-
church to go pick up some Pokemon.
Dude, so I'm very. It's a really nice collection, dude. I'm really jealous of
Well,
it.
now I want to
50
see it.
bucks.
Can I
It was
see
a
it,
lot of
Max?
money
I
on
want to
the-
see
Take
this
it
on the
away.
raid
collection.
passes.
I don't
There's
even know
been a
how
lot
to
of
play.
money
I've
on
never
there.
played Pokemon Go.
It's so much fun, you know. It's really cool that people still play Pokemon Go because it died off and then it came
Yeah.
back. Like, everyone's like kind of got back into
What's,
it.
Yeah.
what's really cool is when they have the in-game events, like they'll have Pokemon Go Day.
Yeah.
And like, people will. There's like a pretty decent.
Max,
group
how
of
long
people
have you been
downtown.
playing this?
Like a couple years. And like people will group up downtown, and you can tell who's playing because you'll just see people walking on their phone.
Yeah,
and
you
they're-
see 'em,
they're
yeah.
doing the throwing animations. I'm like, wow.
So
that's
y'all
pretty
say
cool.
y'all know Pokemon.
Yeah.
How many is there total?
to like 900 now.
I think it's getting close to 1,000.
It's
getting close to
ridiculous.
They just keep
It's
making more?
stupid.
Yeah, they just
I
keep
only like the first
they
one.
keep,
Really?
They just
Nothing
keep
counts
like
after
making
that.
like different regions for them and stuff.
I stopped paying attention after
Oh,
Gen
wow.
4. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be that person.
Damn, inbred
Yeah,
motherfucker.
that's what I got. Mine's not as impressive as yours, dude. Like you definitely got me beat on all those legends. I don't
Dude,
do a lot.
You got Metagross.
I don't do a lot of raids. So I'm very much a solo player. So like, you know, I see other people playing Pokemon Go like in groups, and I'm just like, I don't want to go bother them. Like, you know, and I'm just gonna go capture wild Pokemon and just do whatever, you know. But
Gyarados. You got.
But like you
Charizard.
catch them and then what do you do?
I look at
you level them up.
I just look at them.
Yeah, and then you look
You
at 'em.
don't like you can't challenge him to a fight.
Yeah, there's
We
there's
could.
PvP now. Like
Yeah.
there's PvP,
Oh.
or like you can go like, you know, like take over like a location and like a gym. Look, it's real nerdy as shit, but like, you know, I
really fun.
enjoy it. But yeah, my favorite Pokemon are these two guys right here, Psyduck and Slowpoke, just because I love Gen 1 Pokemon because that's what I grew up with. But they're like the stupid Pokemon, you know, like slow bros, like slow as hell. And Psyduck has anxiety constantly, so like he's just like freaking out and having headaches and stuff. They're just funny. I think I would have these Pokemon. If Pokemon were real, I'd have a Slowpoke and a Psyduck, and they would probably destroy my house somehow. Like, you know, somehow.
What would you
But-
have, Alex?
Oh
You
man,
don't
I
even
don't know
know.
nothing about Pokemon.
No, nothing, dude.
I'm just not a gamer. I don't.
At all. You don't play no video games.
No,
No.
No
bro,
card
I didn't-
games.
Well, I'm from
No,
a
we tried to
different
play
country,
Yahtzee,
so like,
and
I
he
don't-
was like, I don't get
I
it.
didn't even have a TV, bro. Like,
He's like,
I play with sticks outside.
he's like,
So
yeah, I played with a loop and a stick. That's all I did. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, I would get a
we
stick
would
and a
fight,
ribbon.
but like for real. Like we
would fight
yeah,
for
we
real.
didn't
We
fight
played no fighting
Pokemon.
games.
Yeah.
yeah.
First one to bleed loses.
Yeah, our Street Fighter was different than your Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude.
What about you? What have you been playing?
So I don't play a lot of video games. I do play all the Zeldas. I play Mario Party, but normally that involves drinking.
That sounds.
I love Mario Party.
Yeah, we'll take shots, and whoever like loses like the
Yes.
mini games, like losers drink up, and then it's just a slippery slope because then you drink more, and then you lose more, and you drink more, and you lose more, and it just keeps going,
Yep.
right? Like so,
Yeah.
it's fun though. But that's all I really play. I have a PS5. I don't play no games on it. I have a gaming computer, but I use it nothing for video editing. That's all I use it for. But I do play. There's two games I play pretty regularly. That's Warhammer 40K. Which is some like 40-year-old version stuff. If y'all ever heard about it, it's like
That's with the little minifigures.
yeah, the little
right?
minifigures that you got to paint yourself under a fucking
those are
magnifying
sick.
glass, dude. Yeah, I have a whole army set up in the editing room, and then I also play Magic: The Gathering pretty regularly. At least every week I play Magic. I don't play Pokemon cards anymore, unfortunately. I wish I still had my Pokemon cards from
I got all of them.
back in the day, because
I
you
have
over here,
so many
you
of
over
them.
here have
When
these
we
first
started-
edition cards and stuff.
When we first started dating, I was like, "Do you want to see my Pokemon collection?" He was like, "What the fuck is
You're
that?"
like Alex, I'm fixing to make you wet. And you just open up your binder. You're just like, oh shit.
And I do. I have them in little pouches. I have.
He's like,
Is
what?
it-
What is this?
What is this?
I'm so weird. Like I'm all about flipping things and making profit.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. I'm always trading guitars. I'm always like it's just
Professional bullshit.
that's just
Oh,
the,
yeah.
that's just the Mexican in me, right? So she's showing me all this stuff and she's so excited and all I'm seeing is just money signs.
Mr. Krabs.
I'm like,
over
this
here.
one's worth how much?
Crabs over here.
Like what the hell? Like why are you holding onto this card when you can turn it to like $5,000?
Keeping all of them.
Dude, you don't understand those first edition cards. They just
Oh
keep
yeah,
going
I
up
have
in
a
price.
lot of first edition.
She's gonna buy a
holographic.
whole house one day. She's gonna sell one card and buy a house. And she's gonna be
Yeah.
like, "You see, Alex,
Yeah.
I did it. Like, you know, I made it in life.
Yeah, no, there's a market for it for
My
sure.
first edition Alakazam bought us this house."
Couldn't make it with
Understand
DreamStereo.
Saying
But this
that
Charizard
yellow
got
rabbit?
it.
It's a rabbit, isn't it?
Which one?
Pikachu? No, it's not a rabbit. What is it?
He's a mouse.
a mouse.
He's like a
He's
mouse.
the
It's a
electric
mouse.
mouse.
It's a
Mouse. Close. It does have big ears like a rabbit. So I see why you want to.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. I really know nothing about it.
Think about
okay.
everyone online
I'm
right
trying to
now
be
is all like,
inclusive.
"It's a mouse." The viewers.
Yeah,
don't,
the viewers.
don't judge him,
Just
guys.
sip
Don't
it in
judge
that
him. All
guy.
right.
We're not listening to Dream Stereo. The singer doesn't know shit about that.
For real.
You're gonna have all these. You're gonna have all these fans show up in Pikachu, T-shirts like, "This is a mouse."
You go to a show. You explain to me what
Yeah, you
Pikachu
explain
is.
to me.
Yeah. Bring a drawing.
Yeah, bring a drawing.
Bring a drawing of
Y'all could be
Pikachu.
tapping into a whole new demographic that y'all haven't had yet. You know, like you're gonna show up and it's gonna be all these, Comic-Con people. Like,
That's-
show
That would
up.
be awesome.
That
Yeah,
would
it
be
cool.
awesome, though.
Funny enough, we were at Comic-Con last week, and there was these Pokemon cosplayers, and
They were dressed up as Pokemon?
yeah, there was so like the Eevee evolution girls were there. So like there was a girl for each
You missed
Eevee
out,
evolution,
Max.
and they did a
Should've
really
went.
good job.
Missed out on the
They were
Vaporeon.
really good looking, and they had like badass costume. But Jolteon came by our booth, right? And fucking Dylan's all like, oh, that's a fucking Pikachu, whatever, right? And this girl, I could tell, dude, she's been getting that same line all fucking day because she was just like, I'm a Jolteon, and Dylan's like, what the fuck is that? And Nina, the other girl I podcast with, she knows nothing about Pokemon. She's like, what the fuck y'all nerds talking about? And I was like, oh, she's not a Pikachu, it's an electric mouse. She's like an electric dog looking thing. It's like this totally different animal. And she's all like, these animals aren't real. And I was like, no, they're not. But I was like, they're not. But they're real to some people. Obviously to her, she's dressed up as one. You gotta respect what they do here.
Yeah, and it's weird because like me not being into that stuff, I appreciate it though. There is a huge market for all that stuff. There's a lot of fan base for that, and that is really cool. I just don't get myself.
I love
get it.
cosplay. So then on Halloween, I usually dress like 5 different outfits throughout the week.
Yeah.
And Alex refused, so he was
I'm
just
just
an
an old
avocado
man,
one.
dude. Like
Every day for a week, he was an
I
avocado.
collect watches, so I can talk to you about watches. But like, don't ask me about Pikachu because I don't know. Like,
Oh my god, she's all running around trick or treating, and you're just at house,
For real.
in front of a fireplace, just sipping whiskey. Like
that's all I do, bro.
In an
Yeah.
avocado
Off my
outfit because he
grass.
didn't want to put anything else on.
Yeah.
Toast. No, you were the avocado.
Yeah.
oh my god, dude!
I'm just
Avocado
an old
toast,
man,
alright.
dude. Yeah, that's
Hey, dude.
that's me.
That's
we're
also
all,
how we make. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's also how we make DreamStereo work because everyone's so different with what we do in our spare time
Yeah.
outside
Yeah.
of the band.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, Alex, what do you mean you don't understand this? Like, whatever the context of the
Yeah.
conversation is, because that's usually most
Well, I don't
of
get
it.
slang either. I don't.
Oh.
I don't understand it. I'm very literal, very straightforward, and these guys like to bullshit around.
Yeah, I think
a
I
lot,
said, whatever
especially
floats your
texting.
boat. And he was like, what does that mean? I was like,
You're like,
what?
I don't own a
I
boat.
don't,
Like,
I
he's
don't
like,
know. So then I try to think of a saying that may be similar in Spanish, and 9 times out of 10 they don't add up. So I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, bro.
no,
Like,
because it was English your second language?
yeah.
So yeah, so
I didn't move here until I was 15,
okay. 16.
Yeah.
So I feel like English is really hard to learn because we have so much irony in our language. Our slang is like it's real out there, which I feel people when they learn English and they're trying to understand stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like,
And it's things I didn't even think of. And he'll ask me, and he was like, why is it this and not this? And I'm like, oh, shit, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
you
and
have
you're
to-
right. That doesn't make any
There's
sense.
just English
Well,
has
there's
so
been a
many
few
different
of 'em.
exceptions to the
Yeah.
rules.
And not just the actual grammar of it or
Yeah.
but also there's different words for the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's just
Which
really
and
weird because
which and
now
which.
we're tapping into vocabulary.
Yeah.
So it's weird. You just gotta. There's no way to learn that. You just have to expand it. You just gotta study it. So it takes time, dude. I came here. My first day, I'll never forget it. I enrolled myself into high school. I didn't know what the fuck they were saying. I didn't know what was going on. I think they just passed me just because they just felt bad. They were just like, "Here's an A, kid. Just go home.
This
Like,
cat
just
has
get
it
out of
rough,
here,
dude.
bro. Just get out of here."
They probably knew like, oh, he's gonna have it rough.
I don't. Yeah,
Everyone
I don't
just thought you
know.
were
in
the
the
weird
real
kid,
world, he's
not
gonna be
talking.
lost in the big city.
For
Like,
real, dude. I don't know how I did it, but I graduated.
hell yeah.
How
Well,
about-
I mean, at least you graduated, dude. I mean, you seem like a pretty smart dude. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in high school they don't teach you that much stuff, anyways. Like,
You learn how to bullshit.
you learn how to bullshit, really, and that's really what it is, right?
I'm a really good bullshitter, though.
Yeah, he is.
I'm
Professional.
trying to think
Look at this.
what did I learn in high school that I actually used on my day to day, and I don't think I learned a lot in high school. Unfortunately, it was all bullshit. Like,
Like
even
sulfur X and all that. You don't. You just
yeah.
leave her.
Yeah, nah, fuck that. Yeah. X, I don't fuck with them. Like,
Yeah, for real.
they're X's.
I ain't gonna find a next. Fuck that. That's
Man,
why she's a
they're
next.
X's for a reason.
I mean, you learn how to. You don't remember all the shit you learned from high school, but you learn how to critically think and
Yeah.
problem solve.
Yeah.
So it makes your brain work a little bit.
You know what's
Maybe not for
weird?
the right reasons, but
They don't teach you like how to file your own taxes or
No.
like how money management.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know about a fucking war that happened 500 years ago. Like, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck about
That was the Holocaust.
Like, I
real.
want to open up a bank account. Teach me about that shit. Like interest rates.
Yeah, actually, like real life stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like
Exactly.
You know?
Daily things.
I think it's also crazy that our school system here doesn't teach you how to drive. I feel like that's
That is
one thing that they
crazy. Yeah.
should teach you. Like,
Well-
what's the one thing we all do? Oh, we all drive, but we don't teach you that in
Well,
school.
there's driving it.
Yeah,
which
it's
is not
outside the
free.
school,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, it's all a business.
It's crazy.
dude.
Like,
That's
yeah,
what it
and
is.
money management is a huge thing. So, like, I also
Yeah.
work in the oil field as my main job. And that's one thing we have to teach people because normally, you know, if you're new in the oil field, you're going to be making a lot more money than
Right.
working at Walmart. So
Right.
we always got to tell people like, hey, I know your first bonus check is going to be a lot of money. Don't go crazy. Like, don't change your spending habits. Like, yes, live comfortably, but don't go crazy because when people get that money, they're not used to it and they just blow everything.
Oil field is not reliable.
Yeah,
either.
and it's all like you don't know that. Yeah, we're making money right now, but in 2 months something political can happen, and
Yeah.
then we just stop drilling,
It slows down.
and then we're making no money,
Yep.
and it's like you're gonna have to live off the money you make today for later on. And I was like, it happens, dude. Layoffs happen all the time, and dude, there's some guys that they get laid off or like let go, you know, just because we're slow and stuff, and they're just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Now I'm like, dude, you make $200K a year. What do you mean you don't know how to? How you broke? They're like, I bought too much stuff. You're like,
Yeah.
oof.
I'm
Money
guilty
management.
of that though.
Dude,
That's why
Oh,
we
he's-
work.
Yep.
I think we
That's
all.
why we work because she's the saver.
I save.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm the spender, dude. I just like, but see, my thing is like guitars. Like I
And it's always the
love
same speech.
fucking
No,
guitar.
I'm gonna keep this forever. This is my sound. I love this.
But-
and then it's like 3 weeks later,
but-
I didn't even like it. I didn't play it.
But you gotta give me credit though. I only get rid of it if I profit.
Profit, yeah.
I never
That's true.
lose.
Okay.
I always.
Yeah.
But I'm
trade
tired of hearing
for
the same
nicer
speech.
shit.
Like, if I get it, Tawnee, loan me this money. I'm gonna pay you back on payday, but I'm never gonna get rid of it ever. Like, this is what I love. I want this forever. And then literally like a week later, I hated it. I didn't even play it. It sounded like
So
crap.
like that's like, so what he's talking about is you're buying it for life, right? Which
Yeah.
is the equivalent for what we have for girl math, you know. So girl math is a thing, right? Like if I spend $10 right now for this event next month, technically it's free. Like, you know, like, you know, it's like whatever. I mean, it's like for guys the same thing. Like, yes, I'm buying this right now, but I'm gonna use it forever. Like, you know, I'm gonna save $1,000 with this tool
Yep.
and you know whatever, and that's guy math, right? That's how we do things. Girl
Yeah.
math is a little bit different, but
Yeah.
we have
Logical.
our own things. It's
And
logical,
it makes
you know?
sense.
So like, yeah, this guitar is going to, you
I
know,
always
He
find a
does
way to
though. He
convince her,
spends
though.
like so much money on crap. I don't even know half the stuff we have. Well, we do. He's like, oh, it'd be cool to have a projector at the shows. We bought a projector.
be cool.
We don't know how to use it, so we don't use it. And he's like, oh, let's buy this. And so we have all these things. And I'm
But
like, what
to
are we
be
gonna do
fair,
with them?
that's also what's made us self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
I have all the equipment. I don't
Yeah.
have to rely on another band to be able
bands
to play.
come to you.
I have all kind of speakers, subs. I got stage lights. I got all kinds of stuff. Because if I ever need to also run sound for another band and be the sound man,
yeah,
I'm totally okay doing that.
because you have the equipment. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of bands don't have their own equipment,
Exactly.
right?
a
of
lot.
bands,
Actually, a lot more than I thought.
Dude,
I
'cause
thought everybody did. But
equipment's expensive, man.
It is very
Yeah.
expensive.
Like even with this, like I had to, you know, the equipment for this. I was like, I had to really tell myself, like, yes, I'm buying this equipment, but I'm gonna use it for a while. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's this the buy-in cost of doing it. So now, like, you know, I have a podcast, and it doesn't cost me nothing to actually record because I already bought all the equipment.
Yep.
And
That's
it's
how
like,
I
you
look
know,
at it.
I don't have to go to a studio to record a
Mm-hmm.
podcast or go somewhere else and use their equipment, like, you know, their radio station or wherever. I can just do it here, without my own equipment. Even when I go to other places, I have my own equipment. I just take with me. I expanded more to where I have this home equipment here, and then when I do E4 in the wild at different bars, I have a different set of equipment I can pack up and go. Just because I don't want to be tearing down these microphones and taking them
Yeah.
other places, you know, just don't want to do that. But yeah, I know a lot of bands that come in how they just don't know anything about sound. At Dodge, they come in, they're like, "Where's the soundboard at?" I'm like, "We have the house one over there." And they're like, "How do you turn it on?" I'm like, I don't know. And I was like, can I get you a beer? Like, you know, that's all I'm here for, dude. Like, you know, like,
You want Dose or Bud Light?
you seem like a Coors Light guy to me. Like, what do you think, dude? Like, you know, like, I can't help you with the soundboard, but
I just don't like being in situations where I have to rely on others because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling. I have
Dude.
never liked it. I've always been very independent, and since music is what we want to do, I must understand
yeah.
sound. Like, it's not just about looking pretty playing on stage. It's about everything else. Setting up. What equipment are you using? Why are you using it? Why is it this way? Why is it? It's a lot. It's a whole world on its own.
It's
And
bigger than just the music.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Playing on stage is the final. That's the final act.
That's the fun
That's
part.
the easy part.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No one thinks about all the work and stuff
Yeah.
that leads up to it. You know.
Yeah.
So I used to be a bar manager out at Schrader Hall, and the amount of work we would put into shows that that are coming up, we would bust ass all day, and then everyone gets there at night, late the show plays, and we bust ass breaking everything down. And it's like, people have no idea how much work goes into these shows beforehand.
And usually
Like,
it's right after work. Like we still work
Yeah.
that day and then travel and then do it. And then have to tear it
dude.
down when everybody's done because we're the headliners and then travel back. And then go back to work the next morning, which is still
headlining
that morning.
cool, but you got to provide everything.
Yeah.
And then the drummer needs to let other drummers use his drum set. So it's just kind of like, it's you compromise a lot. It comes with it. So it's not easy for sure.
Yeah, I would think so. I didn't even think about the drummer having to let other bands
Yeah.
use it stuff because you don't want to be breaking down drum sets.
It just takes too
It
long.
takes
It takes too long, right?
Yep.
I do see some big bands. They have everything on wheels, like a little platform that they'll.
Oh, when you got
they'll roll
roadies,
out.
though, yeah. When
Yeah.
you're at
Yeah.
that, when you're at that
When you're
level,
at
when
that
they do shit
level,
for you.
So we're talking about playing at Aerocrafters. Like that drum set's staying up there all night. You're
Yeah,
not
for
breaking
real.
shit down, for sure. But yeah, I never thought about that. And then just having your own equipment, like I don't know, even the price on those speakers are crazy. So as one of my next endeavors is to open up my own bar here in Victoria, and of course, we played with the idea of having a small stage, and I looked into like how much would a sound system cost to have a house sound system to where bands can just come and kind of plug in. And I was like, holy shit, that's a whole different type of investment. And I was like, I don't think I could open up with my sound system like that. I think that would be like a goal to reach maybe in year 1, year 2 afterwards. After we start making some money, I can reinvest into the bar and then have a sound and then grow from there, right? But I think it's hard to kind of get the original equipment going because it's such a big price tag.
And we don't have a trailer. So we
We
just
don't
load
have
it
a
into
trailer.
4
No,
cars.
dude.
God.
We're like 2
I
cars.
had to trade in
3.
my car.
It's 3.
I had a small Renegade and I had to get rid of it to get a big old Durango. And usually I ride by myself because I put all the seats down, all the rows, and just stick every speaker in there. And it fits, but that means that they all have to ride separately.
Because Danny's drums have to be somewhere else too.
Yeah,
And
drums
then
take
all
up
of
a
your
lot
stuff.
of space in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the merch, all the huge stuff, and the signs and the lights that goes in my
we're
car.
grateful and thankful that we're able to put on a good show because we have the equipment, but man, it's a pain in the ass carrying everything though.
Dude, I bet. It's a lot of work. And y'all got your own merch and stuff? Do y'all do your own merch?
Yep. Shout out to Max's
my,
mother.
My mom
Oh,
actually
really?
makes all the merch for us. It's really cool. Yeah, it started as like when we first started the band. She's like, "Look, I made you guys all these shirts," and I was like, "That's dope. Keep making them. We're gonna sell them."
Like, Mom, don't stop.
Exactly.
She didn't know what she
And
got
she's still
herself
like,
into.
She's like, oh, Max
She's
comes
big
in with a big
into-
box of shirts.
I mean,
like,
we
all right,
buy the
here-
shirt. I buy the shirts,
Yeah,
and
we
then
buy
she
the
does all the
blanks.
vinyl and
Shirt,
stuff on
yeah,
it.
she'll do the vinyls
And the
and
hoodies.
stuff like that.
She
Really
does
cool.
really good though. I mean, all this that we're wearing, she
Yeah.
makes.
Yeah, so that's actually one of my next steps for E4 because right now I third party all my merch and it's a lot more expensive. Normally I break even on the merch because I'll try to sell it to where I just break even and I just consider it like free advertising for people wearing my stuff. But I was having a talk today with a couple ladies that they use those crickets and they do their own pressing and stuff.
That's what your mom does, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I just
You
tell
don't
her
want
what I
her doing
want,
it.
and then it comes out in a box.
You're like, I don't know what kind of sorcery she does, but she does it, But like, I do know people use those little crickets to make their
Yep.
own shirts and stickers and stuff like that because doing third party is so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say for Comic Con, because I wanted to up my supply. So I was planning on selling a lot of shirts, which I sold some shirts, but I think I spent about $1,000 on shirts.
Ooh.
Oof.
To get them all printed and shipped to me, and then another $300 in stickers that we just really just handed out, just to anyone walking by. But I was doing the math, like how much it would it be for me just to buy the shirts as blanks, and then just print them myself, and it was like so much cheaper.
Yeah, because I get the shirts for like $3, and then I get the hoodies for about $7-8.
Yeah, I want to say with my shirts being pressed or already done, it's about like $17 a shirt. And if I do it blank, it's like $4 a shirt. So I was all like, "That's where it's
she even
at."
makes us koozies. She makes us cups.
You're gonna put in the time, but
Yeah.
if you do it, you don't have to pay nobody.
Exactly. And see, then that's guy math, right? I'm going to spend money on a Cricut, and it's going to save me like, $12 a shirt. So I'm actually saving money by
In that
buying
aspect, it makes sense. That would make sense.
You either spend money or time. There's
Guy
no
math.
Yeah.
one or the other.
And that's a different balance, right? Like, how much is my time worth, But I don't know. I feel like busy people always find a way to make time to do what's important to them.
If you have something you care about, you make it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
It
the
makes it happen.
content. It takes forever to edit and do that content, but I try to get it out the next day, and I'm tired. But even Alex, your guy math, like he was like, "Hey, we're gonna buy all these cameras. You learn it. Here you go." And I was like, "Oh, next video."
I'm
we
not
couldn't
gonna
pay a
pay a
videographer every show, and we have multiple shows a week.
Even though it looks really good.
It did look good.
Yeah.
Well, I pay the photographers because they do great.
They do
like
really
I'm fine
good.
with that. But the
Shout out
videos,
Braden.
we couldn't hire someone twice, 3
What's
times.
your
a
buddy's
week.
name?
Braden.
Braden.
Lead
Shout
singer.
out Braden.
He's
the
a
shit.
photographer.
Yeah, man.
There's like a lot of them.
That
Danny
dude's the shit.
Vivian.
Danny Vivian.
Lux
He's
Photography.
here in town. Lux Photography. We've
In
worked with
Corpus.
quite a few different people, and man, it's quality stuff. They've
Yeah.
been doing it a while. You can just tell.
Yeah.
I can't do that. But I can sit there with a camera and I just.
Yeah, I think I saw you at Moonshine doing it. I was like, oh, look at her. She's over here.
It's all the content. That's what I do.
Yeah, and then you take that footage home and you just edit it
And
all.
we just edit it and put it up. Because we have everything:
Yeah.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Are you the social manager? Damn.
I mean,
She's
That's
the fifth
a-
member of the band.
That's a whole can of worms right there too,
it's a
though,
lot.
man.
It's a lot.
She does a lot.
We just go up there, write the music, and play.
wouldn't
Everything
be-
else that leads up to that.
It's
is
all
her.
100%
We wouldn't be where
Tawnee.
we were.
Thank
We
you.
are right now without Tawnee. Tawnee's the real MVP of the band.
Hell
A
yeah.
lot of promoting and booking. I said the booking is the hardest. It's just 50, 100 emails a week. You might get one back if you're lucky. And so just trying to find things, like especially with the festivals. I had to look at last year's festivals to see what's coming up later this year to try to see if we're already, because a lot of them don't take applications. I'm just writing people. But now that our following is getting high, better, and then the content, and really, like on Instagram, our numbers are good. It was like 3,000, but it's the engagement. Like if you have 1,000 likes and comments on every post, that's what's really catching their attention. And so it's
Oh,
been
okay.
a lot easier.
So the
now.
venues actually look at that. They look at your damn
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, a lot. And now that our Spotify is up to like almost 5,000 monthly listeners, that's how the festivals work. Because I think in the beginning we were trying to go too big, too quick, and we are like, oh, we got this, and we got lucky with the first couple. But after that, it was hard because they're like, you don't have a social media, like you have no following, you have no listeners. We're not going to make money off of you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all about money, right?
Yep.
Money, money,
And
money.
so it's just getting one little gig and then getting one more, and meeting more people until now.
Networking. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's a lot of
It's
networking.
It's a lot of networking, and I guess starting off like not starting off too big, but getting the easier venues, the ones that aren't booked up,
Yeah.
for months on end, and they're like, yeah, come on in, like do y'all have to do you ever have to forego getting paid to play at a venue? Like, is that ever a deal, or
I
they're
won't
just
do
like
it.
you just wouldn't do it?
Like pay to play? What do you mean?
I don't know, just I don't know if as far as bands and how much they get paid, do you ever take a lower rate to start off somewhere, or do they?
It depends on how it might benefit us. Like if we're opening for a really big touring band and they're like, hey, we're only going to give you, and it's lower than what we normally take, we're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Just because you'll
it's-
get the exposure from the people being there for the headliners.
Get paid and exposure.
But if it's like $100 for a 4-hour show, no. We've said no a lot of times.
Yeah.
I love playing, but I don't know for that long.
Like
and for that much
$50.
money.
There was
Yeah.
one that was $50 for 4 hours. I was like,
4 hours
absolutely
of y'all
not.
actually playing?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I'm not going to say where.
Yeah,
But
Do y'all have 4 hours of material y'all can play?
We've done it. Yeah, I've done 4-hour
It's a lot of
shows at
improv.
Arrow.
It's a lot of, I would think so. You know what? Your average songs are what 3 to 4 minutes.
In the beginning, that's what they did was
God.
3 to 4 hours. Take like 15-minute breaks in between.
Okay, yeah,
but
the breaks.
Before Aerocrafters started letting us do openers, it was 4-hour shows.
Yep.
And then
Dude.
Alex was like, I'm going to get an opener. And then they're like, okay. And then more people started getting openers. And then everybody had openers. But it brings it down like an hour and a half. But I think Aerocrafters closes at 12 now.
I think so.
Yeah.
That was when it was open till like 1, 2. And you had to play all the way there up.
Yep.
One things I hear bands say is a lot of bands prefer being openers or like the mid bands instead of the closers.
Yep.
Because you gotta wait the whole night to play.
And a lot of times, because it has backfired one time where we were the headliners, but everybody was so tired and things happened before that
Yeah. There's a lot of factors that.
smoke machine.
It's like you kind of want to open up and just get it out of the way and be like, all right, we're done, guys. We
Yeah.
can chill for the rest of the day. You
Yeah,
know?
you
Yeah.
play your show, then you party after.
Yeah, exactly,
That's the
like-
rockstar
Yeah.
way, man.
You know, when you're closing, you gotta watch how much alcohol you're drinking because normally you're at a bar or someone that serves alcohol, and then you're like, oh no, I drank too much. We're fucked. Like
Yeah. If it's only 2 bands before us, then it's fine. But if
Yeah.
there's more than that, when we're on a bill with 4 or 5 other bands and we're the headliner and we don't play till 1 in the morning,
thank you, right? You're like,
That's where it gets tricky.
it's
Yeah, I
Fall asleep
imagine
before
so.
that.
Yeah.
You won't even be drunk. You'll just be tired.
Yeah, as a goer, I don't even care for shows with that many bands. Like, I'll look and see what bands are playing when, and then I'll show
yeah,
up
we try to.
accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I think here, at least here in Victoria, our demographic, I think only having maybe like 3 bands per show is kind of the sweet spot. Maybe even just 2 bands. But I know there's some shows that have like 7, 8 bands, and they start at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and they go all the way to 1. And I'm like,
Too much.
who's gonna be there all day to listen to that? Like, I'll be done. Like, I'll be ready to go after a few bands. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this podcast up. Why don't you tell the fans where they can find y'all?
Tawnee.
What?
Tawny,
me.
it's your time to shine.
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I think it's all just DreamStereo.
If I do my hands like this, can you put
Dream.stereo.
right over
On
my
Instagram.
hands? Like,
Yeah, I can.
Be like,
Yeah,
hey,
I'll help you. There we
at
go.
Dream Stereo, right?
Dream Stereo.
right there, right
Dream
there.
Stereo.
There, somewhere. It's up there somewhere. Editor, make sure that's nice. Yeah, I might ask for y'all's graphic, and I'll put it up there. We'll do some.
yeah, hell
we'll
yeah.
do some magic. Some movie
Some
gonna go
magic.
movie magic.
like a rainbow, just DreamStereo.
Dream Stereo. Yeah, exactly. Like SpongeBob opening his hands, like
Yes.
I like that.
Add one
Dream
Pokemon on there.
Not Psyduck in the corner, just like that.
He's just chilling.
Right on, guys. Hey, thank y'all for coming on, and thank y'all for watching. And
Thank you for having us.
Thanks
you so
for
much.
the opportunity, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, dude, we'll have you again, and I'll see y'all around. I like going out and enjoying live music.
Yeah,
And after a few months, I'll have y'all back on, and we could see how
do
things
it.
are going.
We'll see how far we've gotten.
Yeah, I'm
how
sure it's
low
going to be
we've
far.
fallen.
Guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the E4 podcast.
I never had a father.